Alright, so I'm currently at Waterloo Station on board the 176 bus route, and there is a new bus route in town, and that is the Bakerloop bus route, which has been operating for around a month now, and I think I'm finally able to make my video on it. Let's go. So let's start off with a bit of context. The current Bakerloo line runs for around 14 miles from Harrow and Wealdstone to Elephant and Castle. Extensions of the Bakerloo line to the south have been proposed since the 1940s, or even earlier, but none of them have ever come to fruition. Until this current extension was proposed, which would see the Bakerloo line run from Elephant and Castle to Lewisham with 3 intermediate stations on the way. But until funding gets approved, a bus route that is technically part of the Superloop network has been introduced, currently running from Waterloo Station, not Elephant and Castle, and 3 stops in the Lewisham area, and I'm currently waiting at this bus stop outside Waterloo Station for this bus to arrive. Finally, here comes the Bakerloo. This is a brown bus instead of a red bus, which certainly makes it stand out amongst the other buses. Anyways, let's go for a ride. On board the BL1, and this Bakerloo Line Extension, barman style moquette. So on board the BL1, and this Bakerloo Line moquette, barman style moquette, resembles a Bakerloo Line train.
Elephant Castle。
即巴士嚟講係從來冇 touch 呢邊嘅，所以我一定要坐下一個。
我如果喺Westminster。
So I'm on board a Bakerloop bus, and this is basically a pre-rail replacement bus to mark a proposed Bakerloo Line extension that I guess will be built at some point in the future. The bus starts from Waterloo Station rather than Elephant and Castle, and I'll explain why that is later. Okay, somewhere near Lambeth North. Basically, the bus follows the route of the Bakerloo Line extension and stops at the proposed stations. Where's this? Oh! Okay. This is the London Road Depot. And here, this is the London Road Depot. Alright, so a little bit of trivia. The Bakerloo Line extension at the start won't actually be using the current tunnels underneath this road, which lead into Elephant and Castle. Instead, they'll be using a completely new set of tunnels that go underneath the A203 and arrive into completely new underground platforms at Elephant and Castle. This is due to the current Bakerloo Line platforms not facing the Old Kent Road, and instead they currently face Camberwell. This would also complement with a much needed upgrade to Elephant and Castle Station, and in fact there's even been some concept art designed for it. Now, I'm not sure what will happen to the current Bakerloo Line platforms at Elephant and Castle if the extension ever goes ahead, but if it does, they could instead be used as a place to test new parts or used as a filming location. Who knows? Only time will tell. Okay, there's the 1906 building.
IMAX 應該係London Bridge 應該嗰邊。 就想去 Tower Bridge 同埋 London Sea，如果 London Bridge 係後發少少就，因為 IMAX 都係 London Bridge。
Going through this elephant and castle mess. It's a classic Leslie Green building. Oh, there's the Elephant and Castle pub. It had its facade reformed or something.
Elephant and Castle, New Kent Road.
Okay, New Kent Road, and then that turns into the Old Kent Road. Where the hell is the shopping centre located? Pretty sure it was here, and I'm pretty sure that's been
嗱，
removed.
呢個 Elephant Castle 呢個 roundabout 係嗰陣時嚟呢啲冚唪唥都係整嘢嘅，整路。呢個 New Kent Road 我哋行過，去
我冇印象。
我淨係記得路名。
Okay.
嗰陣時唔係咁樣，好多年前。
So, here's Elephant and Castle, the New Kent Road. And we start to go
如
down.
果要過咗 Pollution 咁上下咧，就 Brixton，我哋記得係 Brixton 有落啊。唔記得係北。
Now we're down the New Kent Road, which then goes into the Old Kent Road.
To Lewisham Town Centre.
Brown buses, they stand out amongst the iconic red that we see everywhere. Okay. So they use electric Enviro 400 EVs, I think, for the BL1. So as part of the four proposed stations that have been built, there would also be a fifth one here, known as Bricklayers Arms, but that isn't going ahead compared with the other four new stations because it's too close to the others and it would also be quite expensive, which is always the case with these UK projects.
Street market 嚇我死佢哋。唔係啊，睇咗先知道話就係我琴日睇咩 weekend market。
Okay, we're approaching the first proposed stop, Burgess Park.
Burgess Park, Dunton Road.
Thank you. Yeah, the size of the station would be where this Tesco superstore is. I mean, part of the Tesco would be demolished for the tube station. Like I said, part of it would be demolished for the tube station to be here. stopping at this stop.
正正。你起碼都冇啲晾衫嘅周圍晾到出晒嚟，呢度守下規矩嘅。
Yeah, the new tunnels would run underneath this old Kent Road. Right now we're passing the Old Kent Road Commercial Centre, and to the left is Surrey Quays Leisure Park. Sorry, not National Park. Why am I saying National Park? Not this stop. Okay.
剪得太多要俾錢嘅，俾多啲錢。我都好似個 box。呢邊咪好似喺嗰個CTM 嗰個過嚟嗰度，我記得好似我哋喺度過嚟，記唔記得有次過咗嚟之後，揾地方食嘢，揾嗰間 restaurant。
This supermarket here, which is a Lidl, will be the site of the Old Kent Road Tube Station. And it was a Toys R Us in the Londonist video on the Bakerloo Line Extension. I mean, I don't understand why they converted it into a supermarket. This would be a perfect spot for an underground station, surely. But, anyway. Yeah, I mean, in the planning stages, it would have been known as Asylum Road. I mean, why? Why call it Asylum Road? Old Kent Road is better. The stop for the BL1 is actually there, but because of some roadworks, like it's just everywhere. They've moved it temporarily to this stop. There's a bridge here. Pretty sure it's the overground bridge. It carries the Windrush Line trains. Oh yeah, it's also used by Southern for the service to London Bridge and Beckenham Junction. Okay.
New Cross 呢個地方應該好似好近呢個格蘭威治。係。咁樣突然間出咗嚟。係，有個證。
There's New Cross Gate Station. It will form an interchange with the Overground and National Railway services into London Bridge. Oh, quite close to this truck here. So the underground station will be built here. There will be some sort of corridor connecting the two stations. Oh, damn it. Mr. Green. Okay.
皮膚有鞋係咪？
皮膚有鞋，
鞋有衫。
Lewisham. Lewisham is the next stop. That's where I'll get off.
錢去買啲 paint 先係做夾鬼先真係。
間門面嗰度俾人話好鬼衰樣嘅，又畫得靚先，畫得靚嗰啲夾非常好睇。
Okay. And there's New Cross Station, not to be confused with New Cross Gate. Then the bus misses it just barely and turns right over there, where towards Lewisham. Okay. Amersham Road. I didn't know that existed.
打橫，我以為佢轉去嗰邊走，原來唔係，轉咗之後佢再掉頭，咁車頭向呢邊去。佢由啱嘅位轉咗去180度，個車頭向呢邊泊車。呢邊嘅啲唔差嘅，呢邊嘅話有啲鋪頭嗰啲，你覺得唔好嘅，有 bank 添啊，好舊式嘅 bank。
Anyway, we're now entering Lewisham. This is Lewisham College on the road. Oh, this building is where Lewisham Road Station was. An abandoned station.
answer 啦，你記唔記寫乜你都唔記得啦。
如果我要 Chinese 我咪 Canton 咯，如果佢跟咗英文，我相信講唔到嘅，因為嗰陣時咁多年前 set up 嘅，跟住佢咪2003年嘅時候你 set up 邊個 bank 嘅喎，我邊度知道我記得我2003年 set up 咩 bank account 嘅黐線，我話唔得啦，於是佢就俾我另外嗰啲嘢。
你知嘅，人哋只能夠係你寫乜嘢同你乜嘢，你連你自己都咁唔知㗎。所以 fail 個問題係因為你答嘅同你寫嗰個落去嘅唔啱啊，咁你連你自己寫落去嘅嘢都唔知人哋點知寫嘅。梗 唔得㗎啦，梗係唔得啦，調翻轉頭你做嗰個
Next
人，
stop is
你
ours.
問
We'll
我
get off
窗
here.
個窗話你 depends on 你嗰個係 push 定係 Hindi 定咩嘅？咁你收唔收先？你收唔收火先？
收跟住佢咪問我可以問下其他啲嘢，關於你 precursor 嗰啲咁樣跟住，因為問佢2003年嘅時候 set 咗咩咩，呢個唔係 security question，係佢要問嘅，邊度幾多嘢
NatWest 咯。
呢年嘅時間。
And there's a southeastern train going on the bridge. I think that's the Hayes line.
試過張車俾人過咗期啦，咁咪要寄翻俾佢，佢翻好麻煩。咁你俾我話。
咁你可唔可以自己上網
Oh,
改
that's
啊？
our stop.
做咗好耐都做唔到咯，又整嚟整去都整唔到。
你梗係係咪呢度停？
And we're finally here at Lewisham after 30 minutes on the Bakerloop bus. This is the current terminus of the proposed Bakerloo Line Extension and would provide connections with the existing DLR and National Railway stations of Lewisham. And recently, a lot of transit-oriented development has been springing around Lewisham, which certainly means that if the Bakerloo Line were to come to Lewisham, the Bakerloo Line would definitely be well used. So I'm pretty sure that bridge there is the Hayes Line bridge, and the Hayes Line is actually the next potential for the Bakerloo Line extension. I'll explain why. If the Lewisham extension is successful, there is potential for the Bakerloo Line to run all the way to Hayes along the Mid-Kent line, running alongside the southeastern trains in the process. This would mean the Underground can provide a lot of useful connections to southeast London, such as the Croydon tram link at Elmer's End and Beckenham Junction. Finally, we can get a second connection between the Underground and the trams. Wow! Another useful connection would also be the Thameslink station at Catford through the OSI at Catford Bridge. But an extension further down to Hayes would have a few drawbacks. The biggest one is that if the Bakerloo Line was to take over the entire southeastern route down to Hayes, it would mean that commuters coming from Hayes would have a much longer journey going into the city, rather than having a joint service. Personally, I think the operation of the Hayes Line could be very similar to the section of the Bakerloo Line between Queen's Park and Harrow and Wealdstone, where the tube trains run on national rail tracks for most of their time. But will we ever see tube trains come to Hayes Bromley? Again, only time will tell. And as for the current extension down to Lewisham, I personally have no idea of when it will ever be open. Possibly in the mid-2030s or something? I have no clue. So at least for now, the Bakerloop will just remain a test of a Bakerloo Line extension. And if it ever gets popular by people, who knows, maybe the Bakerloo Line extension will finally come to fruition. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. It helps out a lot, and I've got so many more videos planned. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.